I would have, Denzel do it right now for the older me. Probably Michael B. Jordan, something like that, Idris Elba. Yeah, he could do a lot, yo. He could be me, 100%. Had to be something like badass like them.
Ey, Balenciaga en mi jeans, no H&M. I'm a player, baby, dime ESPN. Muchos se viraron, pero aquí estamos bien. Me preguntan quién tú eres, le contesto H.I.M. What's a play?
Hey, yo, tú sabes quién es. El Sauce Boy, Eladio Carrión, Don Cabrón. And I'm going to be answering 20 questions for 2025. I think collaboration is always important in music. I think that's one of the main reasons why Latin music has had such an amazing boom. We collaborate a lot. We reach different fan bases. I think it's the easiest way to reach different fan bases, to connect with other people, is collaborating. So I'm always going to push to collaborate when it's due. I also love to do my songs alone. My fans love that also. But there's just certain songs that I always leave a verse because I say, you know what, I'm already done here. Someone needs to hop on this, and it's this person or that person. Big Sean, that was on my wish list. I was dealing with the 50 collab Wayne because Big Sean is someone that I've always respected in music. I respect Detroit rap, in general and whole, and he's one of the goats over there. His wordplay, the way how he his cadences, is a very good rapper. He's top.
If she don't got my pup, that is not my bitch. Champagne problems, I don't know how to solve them. Crib so big, I go indoor jogging. Got it out the mug, I be big ball hogging. Big proceeds, but I still proceed with caution. Never seen anything from me inside an auction.
At the end of it, I had a good 38 tracks that I loved, but we just narrowed it down to what songs sounded the best together. Because there's a bunch of songs that I loved. The same way I love Vantman, the same way I love H.I.M., but it just didn't fit. Or in the visualizers that we had, the story we wanted to tell in the visualizer just didn't fit the roller coaster of the album, because it has to be a little roller coaster of emotions. It just didn't fit. I didn't find a space, or I couldn't find a space for it, or just didn't fit the vibe of the album. Like with Jesse, I had 2 songs with Jesse. I had 3 songs with Leah Kali. I had a few to choose, which song would go better with the vibe of the album. But at the end of it, it was a good 50 songs that I wanted to choose from those, and I chose those 22 from those 50 songs. Hey, I know the label's gonna be mad at me, but I want to drop a deluxe. I don't know if they would be down. They're always down to do stuff. They my homies. That's family. But if it's for me, man, I would drop a crazy deluxe. I got already some songs with remixes on. I'm not gonna say a lot, but it's very probable. I'm gonna push for it. I want to do it, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna end up doing it. I know we are. Oh, she's amazing. She has to drop a Spanish album. She floated on everything she recorded that day. I don't know. She was on one. She was going crazy. There's been a few times I've been intimidated in the studio. Not that I was intimidated, but I said, whoa. Thank God I already recorded my shit. My shit's already done, because she went crazy. Seeing her in the studio, I'm a big fan of music, and she has a lot of passion for music. You can see it when she's in the studio. She has a very high IQ in music also. You can also see that in the studio if someone goes to the studio with her. It was a very fun session just to see someone go hard like that. I enjoy it.
Yo digo sauce, ustedes dicen boys. Sauce, sauce, sauce. Puñeta, en 1 hora sale el disco más caro que vamos a hacer.
We have the best fan base in the world. I think it started with the tattoos, man. I think, 2019, 18, when I just started going overseas and, or going to Chile, Argentina, and just seeing so many people with the Sauce Boy logos, with the Sauce Boy fan pages, and they were just going so hard for the brand and so hard for what it meant, what it stood for. I don't know if all the artists feel the same way, or all the artists have fans like my fans, but at least mine, they're the best. I take pride in that. I love to give back, because I always say that if you don't do who's gonna do it? There always have to be people who are gonna step up and take that step and take that initiative and really, care for the future of humanity. I got kids, I want my kids to live in a nice place, So every time we can, there's a natural disaster, one of the, in Chile, what happened in Chile, we always try to help out the best we can. We have food organizations food things that we're working on, foundation. We're gonna work with sports, with schools. We just started a little program in the juvies in Puerto Rico. There's a lot of stuff we're gonna do. Right now I can't even still not, you know, a billionaire, you know, or like I got 100 M's still, but, you know, we try the best that we can to help, you know, out wherever help is needed, in DR, Puerto Rico, everywhere we can. Like, one thing that like seeped in later for me, and I said, damn, I wish I would have felt this when it was happening, but it was just so surreal for me, was the Sauce Fest that we had. Like, that was something that I look back at it almost like every week. I just look at a video, I see when Wayne popped up, when Wiz sang, and I say, wow, like, you know, since that festival, I just learned to love and appreciate every little victory, every big victory, as if it was, you know, the biggest thing in the world. Shout out to 50, man, that's my boy, man, I love 50. And visualization is very important. I understood that because I used to be a pro swimmer, and I understood the importance of visualization because I used to do this exercise. I would close my eyes, put like these headphones on and these thing on my eyes that would, like, you know, it would give off vibrations, and I would literally visualize my whole race, and I would get so good at it that I would be at a point that I would close my eyes, and when I hit the timer, it would be the exact same time that I would do in my real life event. So that would be the first time that I really understood the importance of visualization. Even making music, you know, if you're gonna put someone on a song, like, who do you visualize on this song? Like, you have to see it first before, you know. I always, like, when I see someone on a song, and like usually 89%, 93% of the time when I put someone on a song, they do exactly how I thought they were gonna do it, you know. Time is very precious, so, you know, I don't like to waste time. If I'm gonna do something, I really like to do my best and give it my best effort. Half-stepping is not an option. I feel, you know, time is very precious, and I don't like wasting it. That's the biggest thing for me. It is a sport, you know, I don't compete with other people, and I got that from swimming. It's such an individual sport. At the end of the day, you know, your biggest competition is yourself. So I compete with myself, you know. My mission is not to make more late records or make more album sales than this dude, but if not, you know, make better music for my fans, give them better, you know, production. That's why you see this album is very well produced with the transitions between every song, you know, with the visualizers, just trying to give them a better product from the last one from every last production that we do. They deserve it, you know. Before, like, not a lot of people, like, were opening themselves up, like, for real, like, you know, talking about real life stuff, you know, depression, you know, going through stuff, like losing your job, like, you know, things that normal people do, because people have to remember, we're just like them, we're humans. For me, I used to listen to music to be able to, like, to find myself in music. That's the reason I used to listen to Lil, you know, Wayne, Eminem, because I used to feel certain type of ways, and they would talk about real life stuff, you know, and I would say, man, this dude, he has it all, and he's still going through stuff, man. I can do this, you know. I could go through this. This is nothing for me. This is not a challenge. So I still feel like, you know, people need that in music, you know. Not everything can be like, you know, going to the club or this girl who fell out of love, and is, you know, it has to be more deeper stuff. You know, there's more stuff going around. People can relate to my music more, I think, because I talk about more real stuff. I have my ignorant music, you know. I'm not gonna lie, but I do also have very powerful music. And this album, Invencible, is a very powerful song. Cuenta Diez is a very powerful song. Carta Dios Do is a very powerful song with a very powerful message. One thing is that I don't do jets on tours. I do tour buses. I love tour buses. I get the best sleep in my life on tour buses. The only place I can sleep more than 8 hours is on a tour bus, because it's 2 hours of very, you know, intense energy. So I'd like to, you know, rest. I get out there, I'm done. I just want to, like, lay down, take a shower, and watch anime, or watch some Modern Family, so I don't know, you know. But just with the crew, just enjoying it, video games, watching series, movies. That's the best, you know. Anyone who's a dad, you know, can relate to that. I mean a good dad, you know, because you got deadbeats around, you know. But any good dad can relate, you know, and say that having kids changes your life, changes perspective on many things. Even on how I work, my work ethic, you know. I've become way more organized being a father right now. It gives me more to sing about too, you know. It unlocked other chambers that I know I had, you know. It's amazing, you know, having two little, I got twins, you know, I got double trouble. It's just the best thing ever. Like, you know, it's only something that fathers can understand. Something I understood when I became a father, you know. Celebrating success, you know what, I really never celebrated myself until later in my career, because I used to just be living in the future so much. I would never, like, pat myself on the back. And that was something I learned to do later. I would always be looking for more and more and more. Like, I would do something and I was like, okay, that's cool, we did that, but I still want this. That's a good mentality to have, but you also have to, you know, sit down sometimes and say, hey, yo, good job, Ella. you did this, you know, take it in. Cause there's a lot of stuff that, you know, until later I said, oh snap, we did this. All of Eminem's albums, you know, since the Marshall Mathers LP, you know. I heard the ones before, you know, but like when I was a kid, I started on the Marshall Mathers LP. Carter 4 was epic for me. I love the Carter 4. I remember where I was, cause I was in 12th grade, senior year, skipped school that day just to hear the album. I remember blasting that to when I was swimming to Blunt Blowing was my Carter 4 was inspirational for me. The Blueprint is a big album for me. Big Sean, Finally Famous, I love that album. Wiz, Cabin Fever, I could go on and on and on and on, you know. I have so much to do left, you know. Sometimes I was just talking about that with my girl the other day. She told me like, oh, well, what do you want? What's like the next thing you want to do? Like, first of all, you know, overall, you know, just being a good parent, that's number one. There's so much stuff that I have to do and like, that I want to do. And we have to stop this because we know we have to do this. You know, we have so many things in play right now, but you know, we have a sitcom that we're working on. Little by little, you guys are gonna see like what we have been working on so hard for so long now. But the sitcom's gonna be amazing. That's one thing that we're working on hard. Oh yes, I will put my phone away with ease and just ignore the world like sometimes. I think, but I need those days, man, because if not, I think I'll become crazy, you know. There's just so much, like, creative-wise that you have to come up with, and, you know, just, like, your brain gets fried sometimes, you know. You need that little space for yourself to not know about anything, just, you know, breathe a little bit. I 100% believe that you do need your space. Sometimes you do need that little alone time. I love to have my alone time and just be with myself. Work on myself, you know. I think that really separates me from, you know, Eladio doing music, Eladio, you know, the father, Eladio the son, Eladio, you know, the brother. It just, you know, helps me separate that. Depends how old am I in the biopic. If I'm older, you know, like, you know, I would have, you know, Denzel do it right now for the older me. But right now, I don't know, probably Michael B. Jordan, something like that, you know. Idris Elba. Yeah, he could do Eladio. He could be me, 100%. It had to be something like badass like them. I'd love The Rock to be, but you know, we don't look alike. I'm not Samoan. My mom's beautiful, so you know, so it has to be like Sofia Vergara or something like that. You know, someone beautiful. Yeah. I used to do stand-up, and these days, recently, I've been going to local Puerto Rican, you know, little comedy shops that they have. You know, having a great time. I love comedy. If you guys didn't know, I used to do comedy before, and we're gonna go back to my roots with that and really just try to push the Latin scene of comedy, because we have really good comedians, especially in Puerto Rico, and we just need like a little kick, and that's what we gotta do, Salsa Boys Comedy Club. And the last episode is with Big Sean. Yeah, and we chop it up crazy. Thank you guys for watching my 20 questions for 2025. This is Don Cabron, and we're out. Hey, listen to the album Don Cabron. We out right now. Toda la plataforma. Go get that.